podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Hello.
And welcome to Film
Bastards.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 437 of Film Bastards. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I'm joined by
Matt Foster. Hello, everybody.
I'm Becky Foster. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hope everybody's safe and okay and whatnot. Coming up on this week's show, it's quite a variety of main reviews, to be fair, isn't it? Despite similarities in two of the titles. So, we've got the new Pixar kind of subtle as a sledgehammer coming of age film Turning Red. We've got Sean Baker's Simon Rex starring subtle as a sledgehammer Red Rocket. And we've also got Ryan Reynolds being Saki to himself in the Adam Project. We'll also have some news trailers, what we've been watching. wearepodsyndicate.com. Go there for other like-minded shows such as the Iron sequel, Chin Stroker vs. Punter, Entertainment Landfill, his film, Her Movie, and the Rewatch Project, and Patreon. So we're taking a break from the Patreon marathons this week. We'll talk about the voting in a little bit, but patreon.com/filmbastards, $2 a month for early access to the shows and bonus content, including our completed last week Men Doing Their Jobs Really Fucking Well Michael Mann marathon. So yeah, there we go. As I said pre-recording, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off here. Today, as we record, it was kind of made public that co-host of Mondo Movie and fucking fantastic dude Dan Orty passed away this past weekend. Without Dan Orty, I never would have started podcasting. And I've said my bit on Twitter and Instagram and whatnot. It is an insane shame. Cancer is just the biggest fucking prick. And he was gone far too soon. We've talked on the show about people passing away and how, they lived a good life and whatnot. Dan lived a good life for the years that he lived them, and he didn't have enough of them. It's just incredibly unfair.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, similar. I think a lot of us that are part of the film community that was born out of Twitter, that have gone on to sort of do podcasting and bits like that. I think a lot of us have a connection to Mondo Movie as like a starting inspiration. It was one of the first movie podcasts I listened to. It was great having something there that kind of did films that were outside of what was generally sort of available and a little bit kind of different from there. And then chatting to Dan and bits like that, and then you meeting Dan in real life and becoming kind of not that people that you meet online and over Twitter aren't friends, but
face to face,
face to face, and becoming that level of friend with somebody is a little bit different. It was. I had a lot of sort of good sort of connections with Dan over the years, and like I say, considered him a friend. So it's quite hard, things like this. It's like you say, the 41 is just not old enough for somebody at all that's there. So yeah, it kind of I think I'd be I don't think I'd be remiss to say it's kind of shaken us all a little bit, to be honest. And it's, maybe these things should shake you a little bit. It shows that you give a shit about these things. So as horrible it is to be shaken, it kind of makes you go, do you know what? Maybe I need to do this a little bit more, I need to do that a little bit more, and kind of makes you reassess the way that you approach things a little bit.
I think it's a great indicator of not just the influence that he had, but the type of guy that he was, that people are so shaken by it, though. If I obviously no comfort, but if it was you, for instance, that this had happened to, all the outpouring of sentiment and stuff online, it would be comforting in a way.
One of the great things that I always thought about Dan was he was in the. We talk about film Twitter quite a lot on this podcast, and we're quite damning about it sometimes, aren't we? And I think that I don't want to be that guy who goes, things were better in the old days, but genuinely they were.
OG film Twitter was a beautiful.
And the thing is, with OG film Twitter that is there, the Dan and Ben as well from Mondo Movie were kind of like almost like fucking like superstars of it at the time.
Yeah,
Mondo Movie was a big deal, but neither of them were gatekeepering of it. They were very much. They loved the discourse. They loved getting new people involved, and it wasn't just so that they could get their podcast numbers up or their engagements up or anything like that.
No, they've built a great community based around it.
It was about that. It was about building a community, and then that community of going to things like Fright Fest and sitting in the Imperial. The weird thing was, you got to see sitting there at a table. Me and you, Ian, did it numerous times with Dan, and Ben was living in the States by this point. But seeing the amount of people that would come over and sort of just chat to Dan, and he'd be like, you met him, was like, no, that's literally the first time. What is it?
Like a celebrity.
And yeah, I remember the first time we got Dan on the podcast to review Green Inferno, I believe. At Fright Fest. I think me and you were like a little bit drunk, but really excited to have one of the co-hosts of Mondo Movie on Through the Monkey at the time it was for that. It was. He was, he genuinely was just a fucking really great guy. I say it back because I remember one time on a New Year's Eve when everyone else had gone to bed. Messaging Dan, and me and Dan decided that we were both going to watch Frankenhooker at like 1:30 in the morning on New Year's Eve, and we're basically both sat there watching Frankenhooker, just texting each other like a text commentary about Frankenhooker for no reason whatsoever, other than the fact that I think it was just after Leo had been born, so he had he was doing the night time bit, and so he was up.
Shared love of hen and water.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, my next tattoo that I will be getting at my next available opportunity will be the tattoo that I promised Dan I would get if he watched Point Break.
Yeah,
which he did.
Fucking hell.
And I would have got it by now, but we've had a pandemic and most tattoo shops have been closed.
Yeah.
So
The last thing I ever said to Dan, the day that they announced that they were going to be bringing back Mondo Movie, feel free to pull quote me, having even a sniff of Mondo Movie back gives me a fantastic hard-on. The thoughts of it being real ruins all prospects my wife has of getting any sexual activity. And I know he would have, he said, he replied with ha ha ha, so, and some other stuff. So I know he enjoyed that, and he's just very, very gracious, and he I don't know, he always seemed very entertained by our presence. Dave Hall, who passed away a few years back, it was very much the same, and they both made me feel very welcome, that's hard for me sometimes, and they did.
Yeah, that's it. They were a great part of this little community that we've got, and that I think it's fair to say is incredibly important to us. And it was a pleasure knowing Dan, and the fact that anytime I was going through to London, one of the first people that I would message would be Dan saying, "Fancy meet up for a drink?"
Yeah.
And I don't think a single time I ever got a response saying, "Oh, sorry, I can't."
No.
Yeah.
Every time it was, "Oh yeah, cool. I might just have to meet. Might just be a quick one. Might be like one." And there's a couple of times where it was just like one, but it was always one. Always extended into, "Oh, go on then, I can have two."
Yeah, London's a place that's going to be less exciting to go to in the future. Now that it's going to be just a little bit more dull every time. Every time I go to London now, I think. Yeah. If there's another life, I'm really fucking looking forward to seeing him again.
Yeah. Whatever plane there is beyond this, it'll be cool to high five and then spend eternity constantly chatting shit.
Oh god, yeah. What? That'd be nice.
It will.
Yeah, and obviously thoughts go out to his family and Ben. Just incredibly fucking tough. Right. So movie news.
What has there been?
Let's actually, I'll tell you what. Let's talk about. Let's swing back around to the patron stuff now, because give me something to focus on for a second. Sorry, folks. So we asked on the show last week for ideas for the next Patreon marathon, and we've had a few. We've boiled them down to 4 to be able to do a Twitter poll. And my phone's just decided to go to my employer's employee login page for some reason. Sorry, bear with. Why the fuck did that happen? Right, okay, I'm back now. Right, so what we are propositioning to you lovely listeners, if I can use such provocative language, is Sergio Leone, Bong Joon-ho, Paul Verhoeven's English language films, and that crazy cat Terry Malick. So, what we will do is I'll put up the Twitter poll. Give it a good few days to vote on and whatnot. We'll announce the winner next week, and we'll start the marathon the week after that. How's that for a slice of fried gold? We good with that, guys?
I am very good with that. Just looking at what Paul Verhoeven's English language films are, fucking hell.
Yeah, and the RoboCop 4K comes out next week, so it'd be a delicious reason to get on that. But I'm all good. I'm all good with any of those choices. Everything is good by me.
Yep.
So, one bit of news, which is interesting. Netflix testing extra fee for subscribers sharing passwords. How the fuck do they know that? Or if they know that, why don't they just go, you can't share passwords?
I think it's the introduction of a family plan.
Oh, adding an extra subscriber will cost 2,380 Chilean pesos, or about $2.97. So what, they're going to add like $3 to the price of a subscription for having an extra subscriber?
Yep.
Wow,
Yep. They've been trying to kind of essentially limit this by, that they've started to put things into like the updated terms and conditions about these things, saying that that you can't share passwords, and a lot of the time people got away with it by saying, well, what happens, we have a household Netflix, and my kid goes to university, they're still using that, and Netflix have always kind of been a bit like, do you know what, technically that's a no, but we understand, but you giving your password to your mum who lives at another residence there and just letting her use your password, that's not really what we want.
No.
So they've kind of been trying to track the fact that you might have one password that's on 3 different permanent residences.
But then again, if you've got a couple of kids and they're at university... It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because really, they should have to have their own fucking Netflix, but...
It is. I think it's a way of them introducing this now, so that in a year's time, they can start introducing fines for people who are sharing their passwords.
Yeah. But, I mean, I'd be happy enough with that if it's... I mean, how much is a Netflix subscription now? About a tenner?
Yeah, God, they're just fucking... They're raising the fucking... I think for the package I'm on, which is the... Like, we'll suck you off if you ask package. I think they're going to be charging $15.99 a month going forward.
Yeah, it's $15.99 a month.
What is it now?
$13.99 a month.
13.
But then if it's... So say it's going to be $15.99 a month and we can pay an extra, say it's £3 for Isabel to use at a university.
No, she'd still be able to use it at university. They're all right with that.
But even if that were the case, and save her £13 a month, I think people would take that option, wouldn't they, to help their kids out?
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. Yeah.
So that will be the next thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, kind of actually segueing if that price change. I mean, I think we've said in the past that. It's like the amount of subscriptions you have these days. It's basically like paying the same as you would for like Sky or cable. Yeah, and it is.
Plus, also
that is becoming.
Sky or cable.
Well, yeah, I mean, that you guys do. We've been used to non-linear TV watching for a number of years in this household, whether my family like it or not. But. You look at Disney Plus, and I think they're $7.99 a month at the moment, and then Netflix is going to be $15.99 a month. And like, I personally, I'm getting to the point where it's like I might downgrade my Netflix because you know what, the 4K Netflix isn't really that great anyway. Like the quality of the streams on Disney Plus and Apple TV are far better, and they just chuck that in as no additional cost. That's the thing with Netflix. They'd be better off going like, here's a one size fits all fee and get every fucker paying $13.99 a month instead of like some people paying a tenner, some people paying $15.99. Just do that. I mean, there must be business reason behind it, but I'm surprised because Netflix are like the only ones who do that.
Yeah, the thing is...
Because they know that nerds will pay more for better quality content.
We will, yeah.
But, I mean, this is the thing. I'm fucking saying that I'm thinking of not paying for the better quality content because it's not better quality enough. And also, I'll be honest, like Donna, she can tell the difference in quality between things, but she wouldn't be saying to me, why the fuck can't I watch Stranger Things in 4K anymore? Ian, you've got a small dick, and I don't love you anymore. This was the last straw.
How much?
I don't want to have that conversation.
How much is the regular package?
It's like a tenner.
I don't know, about 5 inches.
If I made the decisions on our Netflix account, there is no way we'd be paying for the higher one.
See, that's the thing.
So maybe that was a really good joke.
Oh, cheers. But no, I mean, God, yeah, this is. But I'm thinking about it now. God, this fucking show's like therapy sometimes. It's great, but for really nerdy shit. thinking about it now, I barely watch Netflix. I'll watch a Netflix original movie.
This is the thing. My issue that I have with Netflix and with Prime and with Disney Plus is a weird sense of FOMO. Because we also have Now as well, but we have that included because of the football package that we have for that. So they're like the big four that you have in this country anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
And my thing is, I don't want to be able to go, oh, I want to watch blah, and not be able to go onto it. But the thing is,
the content's so spread about, isn't it?
I think it's become far too spread about that you end up. I can't be, and I know I'm not the only person who does this, but when they go onto Netflix, for instance, and we've been champions of Netflix for a number of years. I don't see it. But I can't be the only person that goes on it and scrolls through about 5 or 6 different rows going, right, alright, this is the same. Out of these 30 movies that are on this row, 10 of them have been in the past 3 rows I've been in.
Yeah.
How is something in action, adventure, and lesbian dramas at the same time?
Lesbian vampire killers?
Bound?
You clearly never seen that film.
Bound's
No, I
not
haven't.
really.
No, it's got James Corden in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has,
I would
yeah.
absolutely never watch it then.
Yeah, it's not very good. But yeah, it's. I'm getting to the point a little bit where I do scroll through it sometimes and think, why the fuck am I? Why, this is getting a bit crap now.
I think the only one that's individually really good is Disney Plus. Genuinely,
I think I'd agree with that, Yeah.
Stars coming out of Disney Plus, or Star, whichever it is. Star coming out of Disney Plus saved it for me.
Oh yeah, when it's all just Disney content, it's not. But like the package of Disney Plus and Star,
Yeah.
is you could go on Netflix and not be able to find anything to watch. You could go on Prime and not be able to find anything to watch. Even if what you really wanted to watch was there, you still won't be able to fucking find it because it's shit. The user interface is fucking awful on Prime. But you can go on Disney Plus and you will find something that you want to watch because it's eclectic. They've got a really big catalogue.
I still don't think their catalogue's big enough. I think
it's not big enough.
They need to drop more shit onto it.
They do. And I think it'll probably be a working process because haven't they got all the Fox stuff?
There's all the Fox stuff, and there's all the Touchstone stuff that they keep dropping out.
Yeah, in bits.
In little crumbs, but I'd like them to throw a fucking loaf at it every now and again.
The problem is there, though, you'll see something you want to watch, but you'll see 10 things you want to watch, and then by the time you've got through 5 of them, you might have forgotten the other 5, but by dropping it bit by bit, it's like, oh, that's come on. Do you know, there is a kind of... The delayed gratification of it does work.
There is another thing, though. To play devil's advocate on this.
Go on.
With all the streaming services, I do think there is a point where we are reaching a saturation point, and the fact that we're getting whatever HBO Max will be in this country later on this year, so that'll add things into that as well. But as well, these services are there predominantly, and it's a similar thing to the whole cinema thing, is they are there predominantly for people who watch series and maybe watch 2 films a week. So the obsessive fuckers like us, who will watch 3 to 5 films a week.
Yeah, you burn through any new stuff.
You burn through the new stuff a lot quicker.
Yeah, you do.
So there is that
something new and everyone will be really excited about it, but you've seen it in the cinema.
Yeah.
See, we have that problem with Now, don't we? With the movies package on Now, it's like, oh, Blah's dropped. Yeah, fucking saw it.
Oh, I 100% cancelling Now as soon as the Oscars are done, and I'll just pick it up for a month when it's the Oscars next year. Do not need Now at all. And also, the fucking quality shit as well.
Yeah.
Now is really expensive, and the quality is bollocks.
Yeah, it is. It is poor. The fact that sometimes stuff on Now will be in 720 rather than 1080 is a bit...
But I feel like we've got quite a good deal with ours, though, haven't we?
We've got a decent deal with ours, so it's
got
there.
our internet and then you with your fucking football.
It's there as an extra for us. But now I often forget that we have now.
Yeah.
The only reason why... Sorry, Baz.
Go on.
No, it's because like the only reason why I remember that I've still got Now is when I'm searching on Apple TV for a film and it's like, oh, open in the Now TV app. And it's like, oh, all right, yeah, I'll watch it in there. It's like the odd occasion where I want to watch a random fucking film and it's on Now, like Candyman. You know, it was like, I thought, shit, I'm going to have to rent this. No, it was on Now.
Yeah, that's
It
it.
looked like shit.
I think I only remember I've got it when I go to Just Watch. If we think about, do you fancy watching Blah? And it's a film that we know we just picked out a film rather than scrolling.
Yeah.
And we'll go, right, we'll put it at Just Watch. And it'll go, oh, it's on Now.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, but again, that's shitty to use.
Now. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I'm very back on the physical media train at the moment, and yeah, I don't know. Like 10, 20 years down the line, when all these there's like fucking 50 streaming services, and you can't find the thing you got to watch, I'll have it on a shelf, and I'll just be like, "Fuck you."
Do you know what will happen?
Also, probably in our loft.
Do you know what randomly will happen? Right, without anybody noticing. Right, what will happen is within the next 7 to 8 years, I'm not even going to say 10 years, within the next 7 to 8 years, what will happen is all of these streaming services will get to the point of where they're going, they're saying to each other, right, we're kind of saturating the market here. Everything's kind of dipping down a little bit, and we're all fighting with each other. What if we kind of grouped together and sold it as like a group package,
like an entertainment package?
Yeah. And basically it will just end up being where everyone will sit there about a year after it's happened with their package that they pay 60 quid a month or 70 quid a month for, that has their sport on it, that has Netflix, that has Prime, that has all of these things together, and they'll go, this is cable, isn't it? We've just bought cable again. We've just bought cable, but it's through the internet. We've bought cable.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what Sky used to be. If you had like the Sky World package,
Sky was cable.
Yeah.
It was just what cable is in this country.
You could just watch every fucking thing. Like the package that was available when we first took it out in the way back when, which was literally, it was called Sky World, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was every fucking channel, all the kids channels, movie channels, sports channels.
£40 a month it was.
Oh, it was
when we took
great,
it out.
wasn't it? And it just everything. And then everyone's taken their own little fucking chunk, haven't they?
Yep.
And now they're all shit individually, so you have to have all of them.
Yep.
Apart from Disney Plus.
Nice. So, yeah, Oh, no, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Right, moving on. Streaming, fucking dickheads. Please don't make it like cable. But you're gonna, you bastards. Okay, so, trailers. I don't feel like there's been many, but also, are you going to prove me wrong?
There's not been many.
There's not been many, no.
There's been like 2
Okay.
that we've got.
3. There's a new Sonic the Hedgehog 2 trailer.
Oh, I've not watched that then.
It's a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 trailer.
I mean, I'm already in for that one.
Yeah,
so
no,
I don't
that's
need
it.
to watch it.
I'm actually quite looking forward to Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
I am.
It looks fun and stupid.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the hectic release weekend coming up in a couple of weeks' time, where it's Sonic 2, Morbius, The Bad Guys, that DreamWorks one, and there's something else as well. And I swear we mentioned it last week.
There's like another one. There's like 4 on the same day, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's a right random one that's grouped in with those as well that probably shouldn't even be there.
Yeah, fucking fucking, where are you? Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Come on, you fucker. Where are you? Sonic 2, The Bad Guys. Oh, is it before? Oh no, Morbius. That is it. What the fuck? But there was something. Something's moved.
Something might be out on Netflix on the same day.
No, the bubble.
Yeah, that's it.
That was it. So that is going to be a fucking wild week. And we literally only talked about that last week. Yeah, Sonic 2 looks fun, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, straight up, like, just very unapologetic fun. And, just the idea of having, like, 2 or 3 films out that you want to see in the same weekend. It's been a while.
Yeah. It's just... It just looks pretty... I'm just looking forward to watching Sonic on, like, a fucking Sunday morning in the cinema with a bunch, surrounded by, like, a bunch of kids that are going to be really, really fucking enjoying it. The Watcher, or Watcher, I think it's just called, isn't it, Bex?
Yeah. I think this looks alright.
Michael Monroe, isn't it?
Yeah, I quite like Michael Monroe. She's in The Guest, isn't she?
She seems like an actress that should have done a little bit more.
Maybe she's just trying to make good choices.
She made It Follows.
Yeah, she did make It Follows. That's shit. But that was before The Guest. Maybe she's trying to make better choices.
Was after Guest.
Eh?
Was after Guest.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was something she was in, like, that I watched last year. Was she in Elle?
In what?
Elle, the Verhoeven movie.
What, Micah Monroe?
Yeah.
Really?
Wasn't she
Maybe.
the friend?
Did that fart just come through on mic?
No, it didn't.
Okay, that's good.
No, I'm thinking of Greta. Sorry.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the friend in Greta.
Yep. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it, rewatch It Follows at some point because Under the Silver Lake fucking owns.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel that maybe third time will be the charm with It Follows. I kind of want to set up a mini prestige horror that I thought was a bunch of wank the first time round festival and see what I make of them.
I could get involved in that, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I've got that fucking Blu-ray of the director's cut of Midsommar, which is still in its cellophane.
Yeah, I could get involved in that. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
when I
man.
do that.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Memory, what looks on its surface like a generic. Oh, it's Liam Neeson doing another one of those Liam Neeson movies that he said 3 years ago he wasn't going to do anymore, and has made 6 since. But this one's got Monica Bellucci, Guy Pearce, Ray Stevenson in it, and he's directed by Martin Campbell.
Martin Campbell's an interesting one, though. Like, his recent career... Did he do The Protégé? That...
He did, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, he's an odd one.
Before that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, who was that? Was that Jackie Chan?
Jackie Chan,
Pierce Brosnan?
Yep.
I don't know. He seems to have just turned into, like, I don't know, like the director of fucking Casino Royale. You know, like he knows what he's fucking doing. Mm-hmm. What's he doing with these films?
I think Green Lantern hit hard.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose so. I mean, God, here's a fucking career. Let's take a look at this then.
I mean,
yeah, it really did. He's not done a lot since 2010, has he? Or
nope.
11, yeah.
No, really, a realistic, like, movies, The Foreigner and The Protégé, that's it.
Wow.
Yep. Wow. That's brutal.
I don't know, a film about an assassin that's got, like, early stage dementia, though, seems like it could be an interesting storyline.
Yeah. It does. You watch it going, I know it looks like one of those Liam Neeson films, but I've enjoyed some of those Liam Neeson films. So I might enjoy this Liam Neeson film.
Is he nearly 80?
Who?
Am I reading that right? 1943 he was born.
Martin Campbell?
Yeah. That's what IMDb says. That doesn't feel right to me. I don't know, maybe.
Martin Campbell's 78. That's what's blown my mind a little bit.
Yeah, that... Is he really?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. Well, I don't know. I mean, like, fair play to him. God, there's a photo of him on Wikipedia from 10 years ago where he does not look like he's 68 in that.
Nope.
What? I mean, he's very well preserved.
Yeah, that's bonkers.
Fuck me, that guy's 68. He doesn't look like that much older than my boss. Oh man, I might have to show Lee that tomorrow, wind him up. Yeah, that... Well, I mean, fair play to him then. Dude's in his late 70s. Go ahead, make some fucking film about Liam Neeson losing his memory. Good. I'm glad you're still working.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. You know, fair play. Fair play to you. I have a bit of news actually to throw out there that made me laugh there. So, I'm right in thinking that Ridley Scott right now is making a Napoleon movie starring Joaquin Phoenix.
What a fucking picture.
Right? So the minute I heard that and saw that image and processed that, my brain, you know when occasionally your brain goes to a strange place? Do you know where my brain went to?
Go on.
You know the bit in Ted where he goes to try and get a job? And he just insults the guy who's interviewing him?
Right.
My brain literally went, that's a little bit like I imagine what happened when Ridley Scott went in to try and make The Last Duel. Expecting to just get shot down and then go, yep, fair enough. And then he's gone in with Napoleon and done exactly the same thing. And they've gone, all right, yeah. And he's walked out there going, how do I keep getting this money to make these movies?
I mean, it's kind of by virtue of Ridley Scott, but...
It is. It's
going to run out
bonkers.
at some point, isn't it?
No.
Ridley Scott... Sorry.
I don't think... Well, I think if Napoleon made $8, I think still, like, 3 weeks later, Ridley Scott would have another $200 million fucking epic penciled in.
Oh, we need to watch The Last Duel, don't we, at some point?
Yes.
Ridley Scott 100% walked into the studio's office and went, got an idea for you. Get the image of Napoleon in your mind. Yep. Yeah. Get the image of Joaquin Phoenix in your mind. Yep. Yeah. Put a Napoleon hat on Joaquin Phoenix. Here's $100 million. He literally looks exactly what I would imagine Napoleon to look like, and it's very entertaining.
He looks so grumpy.
I'm going to be...
That's been doing the rounds as well, doesn't he?
Sorry?
He looks so grumpy in that picture that's been doing the rounds.
Oh, it does. He looks fucking glorious. I can't wait. He's just going to be an angry, short king for 2.5 hours.
Yep. The film's currently called Kit Bag.
Yeah, they're fucking renaming that shit.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Even though, I wouldn't be surprised if Ridley Scott was like, "No, you're fucking calling it Kit Bag." And I think it's Apple, isn't it? So
yeah.
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me if Ridley Scott just one day went Kit Bag Part 2. What? There isn't a Part 1. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then when somebody asks him about it in an interview, you go, Kit Bag Part 2? There isn't a Kit Bag Part 1. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, he's a bit salty, isn't he?
He's fucking great. He's kind of... The thing is, he's Ridley Scott. So fair enough.
Yeah.
You know, the guy fucking still... He's still knocking him out. You know. And fair fucking play. He's Ridley Scott.
Nah, that motherfucker just thinks he's a shark and he's manifested it.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Sorry, that was my little... It just tickled me that he's still...
Yeah.
That when people go, oh, you know, a few knocks and that's it, a director's career's over, like Martin Campbell. No, it's not. Not for Wrigley, it's not.
Oh, man. Bloody hell. Cool. Okay. That's it for trailers, I think, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. I think there was a new Fantastic Beasts one maybe last week, which was fine.
The movie that literally there are so many people just be like, do we have to?
It does make me laugh that they've just gone, oh, fuck it, just take them to Hogwarts. That's it's funny. Okay, so let us begin with Red Rocket, which is directed by Sean Baker and stars Simon Rex, Susanna Sun, Brie Elrod, Brenda Dice, and Ethan Darbone. So, this is the story of Mikey Saber, who comes back to his hometown and kind of basically worms his way back into the life of his actually still wife. But he senses an opportunity to get out of there and relaunch his kind of porn career, but more as a porn mogul, where he meets a local donut shop employee, Strawberry, played by Susanna Sun. So, Bex, what's your kind of like your thinking on Sean Baker's previous work? So, he directed Starlet, which I've never seen personally, but also Tangerine and the Florida Project. Oh, okay. So, as a Sean Baker novice, how did you take to his earthy filmmaking?
Are they all like this?
Kinda.
I will not be seeking out his back catalogue.
Take it you didn't like it.
No, and the thing is, I can take not liking a film, not liking a single character in the film, if the film is good. But I didn't feel like it was. So it kind of failed on every count for me.
Okay.
I don't want to be too negative, because part of it is that the story is icky, and it's supposed to be icky, but I don't need to dedicate 5 hours of my life to watching a story about some icky groomer.
Yeah, no, it's a fucking fair comment, that. So, Mark loves spending 5 hours of his life dedicated to watching icky groomers. So, Mark, I'll send it over to you now, bud. So, when Licorice Pizza came out, a lot of people were comparing the two, and you know, either kind of saying like, oh well, you know, Red Rocket's got a relationship between an older guy and a younger woman, and you didn't have a problem with that, or vice versa. So we discussed Licorice Pizza a couple months back, and I believe your viewpoint was, I could see why people have got a problem with it, and yeah, but I, you know, still think that the quality of the film outshines that aspect. When it comes to Red Rocket, just the nature of the story kind of makes it more icky. Did you find that there was worth to that?
The nature of the story is more icky in the sense that I don't think either of the characters, just going to take back to Licorice Pizza, is a sense they are. I don't think either of those characters is necessarily overtly using each other for nefarious means.
No.
Whereas in this, there's a very much a Mikey is very much in the sense deciding to groom her and
it's
making
a conscious decision.
It's a conscious decision, and he doesn't see anything wrong with that. You know, he is. He's suitcase pimping her. That is the thing of the parlance. So I think that people didn't seem to have as much of a problem with it in Red Rocket as they did with Licorice Pizza, and I find that a little bit weird.
Is that possibly because she's 17 though?
Pardon?
She's 17.
She's 17, yeah. But also as well, I think the fact is the story of this is calling out this guy.
Yeah.
But then also as well, he is the fulcrum of the film. That he's there, you know. Is there any time we spend with this film
without him?
I genuinely don't think there is.
No.
I'm trying to think.
He's in it.
He's in every scene. Yeah. So yeah, I think he's So we are spending time with this guy. This is this guy's story. There are no likeable characters in it whatsoever. I think that can be a little bit of a vibe of...
the drug queen pin is probably the closest to a likeable character. That's saying something.
There's an element of... The thing is, I actually quite enjoy Sean Baker's films. I haven't seen the Florida Project, though, to be honest. And I know you didn't get on with this Florida Project, did you, Ian?
No, I mean, I kind of wanted to give it another go. But yeah, for me it was bafflingly overrated, and it just felt like look at him, he's telling it how it is, and he's like like spending time in these real locations and with these real people, and kind of like the almost documentary kind of aspect to it. I think people really, really, really liked that. It's interesting seeing the tide ever so slightly turn away from him now, and people reassessing. But yeah, I didn't think he was all that before it was cool, I suppose is a way of saying it.
Yeah, there was an element that I've had with this that I think you can tie back to previous Sean Barker movies, of the somebody who's come from a more privileged position, essentially poking fun at ridiculousness of people who don't. You know, there wasn't a single... Every character in this movie is a fucking idiot.
Well, this is the same criticism we had of that awful Amy Adams movie, wasn't it? Glenn Close.
Oh yeah, well everybody has been proven to be right about that. Yes,
rich people comment on poor people's lives, kind of thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
And the fact that I think now that movie is something that everybody involved in it, and from an acting point of view, will gladly go, yeah, can we not talk about that after the guy who wrote it has come out as a massive prick?
Oh, have they?
Oh yeah, he's a full-blown fucking card-carrying Trump supporter.
Lovely.
Yeah, he's trying to get the nomination to run for Senate for the Republicans for some fucking seat, and
and
all sort. Yeah, real
it's called
Trumpy.
Kyle whatever his name is, the great kid who killed 2 people and maimed another one, has called him an American hero and all this lot.
Yeah,
so,
that was it. That was it. Yeah.
So I think everybody associated with that are very much can we just not talk about that film anymore? So I'm not saying Sean Barker is anywhere near that level, but there is a little bit of an element of everybody was kind of stupid.
Yeah, everyone was.
They're not just poor or from a vastly deprived area. They're all stupid.
Yeah.
With the exception maybe of the drug kingpin, but even her kids are stupid.
Yeah.
You know, they're ridiculous. They're caricatures of it. And it felt a little bit... I don't know. The thing is, overall, I actually quite enjoyed the movie. Partially because I think that the central performances are quite fun.
They're not good, though.
I think they are.
Okay.
I think Simon Rex is really good at this because it's difficult. I don't think I might be wrong here, but this is the way that I look at it. I don't think that Sean, or for me, I found it that Sean Baker is trying to get you to kind of almost feel sorry for him. I think it's wanting you to be, if you go along with it, which you didn't. If you go along with it, that you are engaged enough and curious enough about him to go along with it, but ultimately you want him to fail.
He's just an unequivocal piece of shit.
Yeah, because he's an unequivocal piece of shit. So you're not watching the film where you would normally watch a film rooting for the character. You're wanting to watch where his failure happens. And that's the thing that gets you there. But you're not quite sure by the end of it if he is going to get his failure.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. This is the thing, isn't it? It's like if your central character doesn't need to be likable, they just need to be interesting. And I think he's interesting, but I also liked watching him way more when he was just doing his fucking monologues of bullshit like earlier on. And just like I don't know, like there's one bit where he's just like, and I had a business partner, and I had a disagreement with him, and he said something, and I got a little mad, and and it's just like you just want someone to go, like, what did you do, and just like drill down to why did you have the disagreement, and you say you got a little mad, so what does that mean? What did you do?
Yeah,
and just the way that absolutely every problem he's had is somebody else's fault. And, like, in that aspect, very much reminded me of the guy I used to manage, where, try every fucking thing under the sun to just not admit, yeah, all right, it's me, I'm the problem. And that's him. But then, when he just starts grooming her, it is just like, I don't want to see her fall under his spell, and she does, and... just things like the dropping him off at that house, and then like the third time she does it, he's like that woman comes out and is like, "What the fuck?" And then like that's never really like brought up again, and that's fine because it's almost like a kind of like a slice of life. But I don't know, it didn't. It gets bogged down in its scuzziness.
There's possibly too many layers of scuzzy on top of it. He could have just had a relationship with the girl. He didn't have to be that he was going grooming her. That was enough.
Yeah.
That he pursued the girl. It didn't have to then be. It felt a little bit almost like Baker was showing off with how.
Yeah.
With how far he was willing to go, but then I'm watching it going, yeah, but I don't. You're willing to go to here, and here, but you're never willing to go nasty with it. You're always still wanting to be flirty.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like when when she takes him to her house, and then they go, she opens up a bedroom, and it's all pink and whatnot, and it's all just like, right, so this is, we're just really cementing the point that she's fucking young, and then 30 seconds later, you're watching like a topless sex scene with her, and it's just, what am I supposed to? I'm confused as to what I'm supposed to be getting out of this moment. Am I just supposed to feel like this is fucking icky? And if so, you've already done plenty in this film to make me feel icky. So, and I mean, obviously we talk about how I get like uncomfortable during like sex scenes and things like that, but with this, it's like, it can't be there for titillation. Surely. What story point is it giving? Because we know that she's fucking him. So what's the point of that?
I think maybe on that one, there's no way he can trick himself into thinking that she's not a little girl, and yet he still fucks her, and he still gets her to film it. Like, I think that's maybe just cementing the complete lack of self-awareness that he has, or self-reflection.
Yeah, no, fair play as like a comment on his character. Yeah, no, that's a good shout. I don't know, it just, like I say, before he meets Strawberry, I was quite enjoying it. I thought it was funny, and I thought he was a cheeky fucker, but he was engaging. And then you get that, and you get the whole fucking subplot with him basically causing that accident and his mate taking the fall. And then again, that leads to nothing. And so it's a bit like, well, what was the point of that then? And it's weird because the Florida Project and Tangerine have got this kind of like documentary kind of vibe to them, and they've got a story, but it's also kind of just like about the surrounding people. Red Rocket is trying to force the narrative in there more, but in doing that, it's also letting itself down because there are like narrative things that it opens up and it just doesn't really do anything with. And I don't know. I mean, is it a comment on just like, there are some people in this world who will just absolutely skate by on other people's goodwill and being charming and just be all right in the end?
I think that's an element of that, is that he starts the film in exactly the same place as he ends the film.
Well, I mean, if anything, if the end of the film is not in his head, because I think you could read it as that.
I think
then he's in a better. Okay, all right, because otherwise it's like, well, he's in a better position. He's successfully convinced this 17-year-old girl to run off with him, and he's going to get her doing porn. Mikey Saber wins, and I to be honest, I don't know, because like the fact that she comes out with barely anything on, and it is kind of an indication of it. Is this actually in his head? Is this what he's hoping to see?
I think that very much is that's a
Phoebe Cates moment.
I wanted.
Yeah, I think that was very much in his imagination.
You are.
I think it was very much in his imagination.
Do you know what would have been a better ending if a mum had just come out on the porch with a fucking shotgun and cocked it at him?
Yeah, it would have been.
And then he just like fucking runs off, and then the credits start.
Yeah. It would have been. It's the thing is, I enjoyed my time enough with it. It's way too long. You could have told exactly the same story in 90 minutes.
Oh Jesus! Yeah.
It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be plus 2 hours. And there's, it's part of that was a little bit. There was a little bit too much of, I think, going, oh look, we're going to show his dick again. We're going to show his dick again. We're going to show some more fucking. We're going to show more fucking. We're going to show fucking. And you think they're just going for a walk? We're going to fuck on that walk. We're going to do this, and this. And it felt a little bit like, do you just really enjoy filming fucking?
Maybe.
it did feel a little bit like that at points.
It feels a little bit trapped between, like, if his other films are more kind of slice of life, just observing style, kind of show people's lives kind of thing. It feels a little bit trapped between that and trying to have a story, and it does neither well, but also because they try to cram both in, it takes fucking ages to get anywhere.
Yeah, again, I think I enjoyed it overall, but if somebody turned around to me like you, Bex, and said, it's shit, I wouldn't be able to offer up a single defence of it whatsoever. I would be like, yeah. The thing is, the mental thing about it is, I've given it 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd, right? But I'm going to say it's touching cloth because it's definitely. I can't say it's definitely not shit because it is a bit shit. But I actually enjoyed it, and not just because of the absolute sleaze of it, just because of I think the performances are really quite good.
See, I get your thing with like sleazy movies, but sleazy movies are generally supposed to be titillating. This is just fucking gross.
It's a bit, yeah. It's. I think the best phrase that we've all used at different times for it is icky. It is icky, but it's not even like. It's really like fucking like low par icky, like low hanging fruit icky.
Yeah. It's not even like elevated icky, is it Cronenberg, isn't it, that does like body horror stuff, and you can watch them and you're like, oh, that's really fucking icky.
Yeah.
But it's great. This is just, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
We got to a point in where I turned around to you and said, just pause it a second. We are an hour and 7 minutes into this, and the only thing I've liked about it so far is her cowboy boots.
Yeah,
and it's still on 4 days to go.
It did make me laugh that like early on, like they were kind of like talking about, oh, could Simon Rex get an Oscar nomination and whatnot. It's like there's no fucking way on God's green earth that this film is getting any kind of Oscar attention whatsoever.
Yeah,
like I don't know, Sean Baker. I'm not convinced. I'm not. To be honest, this is the one of the 3 of these films that I've seen that I've actually got the most out of, but it is because I thought Simon Rex was very, very good. He understood the assignment and he did it well, but at the same time, and also, you know, from his position, you've got like a really hot indie director calling you up and saying, do you want to do a film where you're kind of like playing a bizarro, fucked up alternate version of yourself? I understand why Simon Rex would agree to it and be like, yeah, I'll do whatever you need me to do. But I don't know. I do feel sorry for Susanna's son, because it kind of feels like the kind of role that in the misogynist world in which we live, is it going to be hard for her to kind of get out of the shadow of this film, being as young as she was and kind of doing the things in this film that she does? And I hope that like things are more enlightened than that. But there are times in this film that kind of feel like they aren't a million miles away from like softcore porn, but or maybe not. I don't know. I can't say I watch it. Like I won't say hardcore, but I don't know. Mark, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, it's not quite softcore porn.
Okay, all right, fair enough then.
She's actually in a HBO Max series. The next thing she's doing. Called The Idol, that stars Lily Rose Depp and a few other people. There's like quite a few musicians involved in it. There's another A24 thing. So,
okay, all right, well, no, good.
And I'll be honest, it's Sam Levinson. It's one of his.
Right. Oh shit. Right. Okay. So probably quite a big deal then.
Yeah.
Fair play. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Like I didn't think her performance was bad. It was just I'd rather not see her getting fucked by a guy trying to groom her.
Yeah, it's that
weird. That, isn't it?
Show is going to be directed by Amy Simons.
Oh wow, really? Girlfriend Experience? Okay, no, not Girlfriend Experience. Fucking She Dies Tomorrow.
Yeah.
She was in the TV series of the Girlfriend Experience. That's
yes.
Yeah, I didn't pull that out of nowhere, but
I mean, I don't know, but definitely not shit, even though it was icky. But it's like pre-meeting Strawberry, definitely not shit. Post-meeting Strawberry, thanks but no.
I agree with that. I can see. Yeah, I'm not quite. Thanks, I hate it. I'm touching cloth.
Thanks, I hate it. I knew I was wrong.
Yeah. I'm not quite there because I didn't hate it. That's what I did turn out a Becky at one point and said I have a feeling that Ian's going to be like uncomfortably, but kind of like in a almost like I'm uncomfortable, but in a bored way. Like not. Oh yeah. Like not. Yeah, like not. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to see this or anything like that. Just like, do we have to see this again? Why is that there?
Yeah, I didn't need to see as much of his fucking penis bipping around when he was running as we did. Fucking close.
There was a close up there, yeah. Oh, absolutely. It was a little bit like, in case you didn't notice.
Here's
like,
his penis.
We knew, we noticed.
Yeah, we got that. I fully heard it. It was shit.
Fair play.
Fair enough.
Our audience poll on it was it's not updated for some reason. Was definitely not shit 50%, touching cloth 13%, and shit 38%.
Yeah, I don't think I'm seeking out any more of Sean Baker's films.
No, fair enough. Don't think you have to.
I think I will watch
Willem Dafoe got nominated
at some point.
Well, you have
Willem
time without me.
Willem Dafoe got nominated for Best Supporting Actor for that, and he is very, very good in it. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what Baker does next, and it kind of just feels like, is it going to be another thing in kind of like a poorer part of America where you get the people around there to act for you?
Seems a little bit like that's his MO.
Probably. Yeah.
Have you ever wondered what so-called family films will scar your kids forever? Putting 4 and 5-year-olds in front of this movie, it's like, if they didn't know what death was before this, they're going to know it after it.
They're going to know it after it, and they're going to be freaking terrified.
And they're going to be questioning you.
Yeah.
Or do you have the slight suspicion that your loved one has a cold, dead heart?
Yeah, The Dark Knight has got like all the orphans and like, oh no, we're going to die. They did not build up those orphans at all. In my head, it's like, kill them.
Then look no further. The His Film Her Movie podcast is the show for you. It's the movie podcast that celebrates the contrasting cinematic tastes of its hosts. So join Jordan and Lauren every week on their unique journey through the land of the silver screen. So if you're looking for a few laughs, some fun film-related chat, then get involved. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
CS3P Combat. Player 1, choose your character.
Tired of film and television podcasts where the hosts exist in a blissful state of agreement?
Instructor. Player 2, choose your character.
Well, you're in luck.
Punter. Round 1, fight!
Allow me to introduce you to the Chinstroker vs. Punter podcast, featuring 2 film and television fans from Birmingham, England, who enjoy their media in very different ways.
But anyway, that brings us to the end of the plot of Blue Velvet.
The plot. I mean, the main characters are 2 of the dullest main characters I have ever encountered in any film.
So join us as we catch up on what we've been watching from our own very different perspectives.
Double KO. Round 2, fight!
You can find us at csvsp.libsyn.com, also on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, all the places that podcasts can be found.
Just really
It's not visually striking.
No.
Just getting confirmation.
It's just in that's the 3rd time though. I mean, is this on?
Okay, so let's talk about the Adam Project.
Oh, we're doing a shit sandwich. Oh, reverse shit
that's
sandwich.
A spoiler. There's a spoiler. So,
Munchie. The Adam Project is directed by Sean Levy and stars Ryan Reynolds, Mark Ruffalo, Catherine Keener, the little lad whose name I can't get up here at the moment, but he's like a Ryan Reynolds Jr. His name is Walker Scobell. Also Jennifer Garner and Zoe Saldana. I'm just going to do the fucking Google synopsis. After accidentally crash landing in 2022, time-travelling fighter pilot Adam Reed teams up with his 12-year-old self for a mission to save the future. So, Mark, question.
Yes.
First off.
Yeah.
Why was Catherine Keener a bad guy? What was she trying to do?
What was her motive, do you mean?
Yeah, like, why...
She wanted to be really fucking
She's
rich.
a bad guy. She's chasing Adam. Wants to stop Adam. Why? Why?
Because he's trying to stop her from essentially becoming as rich as the planets.
Yeah, he's going back to find Laura, find out what happened to Laura, which would expose the fact that she'd been back to 2018, and then obviously scandal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what, the scandal is that she time travelled back to the past?
Yeah, to give her young self a heads up to buy all these stocks and become richer than God.
Yeah, she biffed it.
She did biff it, yeah.
Okay, so she biffed it. So the bit... What were they trying to do at the end? Like, what's the thingy at the end where they put the thing in the thing?
It's the thing that essentially becomes the time machine.
They try to destroy the Terminator's arm.
Yeah, effectively.
But the only reason why this is all happening is because she doesn't want it exposed that she went back in time to tell her younger self to do all this shit.
Not
to
that
make
she doesn't
her
want it
rich.
exposed, she doesn't want it corrected.
Yeah, initially.
Why does Adam want to do that? Why is Adam flying away? Oh, because he wants to find Laura.
Yeah.
So why did Laura go missing?
Because she found out about Catherine Keener.
And went to investigate it.
Yeah.
Back to 2018, then they destroyed her jet plane so she couldn't get back.
And inform people about it.
So she was trapped.
It feels like a really low stakes reason for all this stuff.
It just escalates, doesn't it? So when...
I think she's incredibly wealthy and the planet's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There was an honest question because obviously I'm still confused. But that's fine. So you two understood this film better than I did. So that's great. But Mark,
yes.
Next question, because I don't feel like that was an actual question. No, actually, no. Fuck it. It was an actual question, Ian. Have confidence in yourself, Becky.
Go on.
Walker Scovell, or whatever his name is. Did you believe that he was a young Ryan Reynolds?
No, well, I did say this to Mark while we were watching it. Children are not just fully formed, small versions of them as adult selves. Like, they've just tried to be all Ryan Reynolds-y. And it's like, yeah, I can see why that piece of shit gets bullied. I'm not going to lie, I'd probably punch him. He's very, very annoying. At the start, he does develop a bit. But I think it is an error that's made with a lot of kind of family films now, is they make the main child character, it's gone from being precocious to being cocky piece of shit. Precocious works. Kevin McAllister works. But they've made them too much now.
Because Kevin kind of acts the way that a child would act.
Yeah.
Now they're being written by smart ass people in their mid-30s who think that that's how my kid would act if he was in this situation because he's smart.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too much, and I get that they want the comparison between the two, but they could have softened him a little bit so he wasn't quite so much of a dick. Because the thing is, you're supposed to sympathise with him when he's getting bullied, but then you're watching it going, I kind of sympathise with the bullies. He is a dick.
I won't go that far.
But then you do say about quite a lot of people, they clearly never got beat up when they were in school and probably should have.
Oh yeah, a lot of a lot. There's a lot of people out there that you look at and go, right. In an age where bullying was more accepted, you would not be like this now.
Yeah. Not advocating for bullying here, by the way. Just saying, this kid was really annoying.
This kid deserved it. Yeah, I understood. Yeah. No, it's an interesting one, the Adam Project. I mean, people on the old Twitter have been very fucking sniffy about it, which I don't know. I think is interesting. The Ryan Reynolds, Sean Levy of it all seems to bother people. But I think we're noted fans of what Reynolds does on here on this show, and I think it's absolutely fine. It's probably the most whelmed I've been by one of his films in a bit. And he's got a cast that is quite extensive, but it's like, why are they all here for this? And it kind of had an air of a lot of these folks didn't have much going on around COVID times and were like, shit, yeah, go on then, I'll be in this. This sounds easy enough.
Did that say Tom Cruise was initially supposed to be in this?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, this has been on the fucking bubble for like years.
Wow.
But I mean, it's like Mark Ruffalo. It kind of feels like if it was like normal times, would not be in this. Catherine Keener would not be in it like that. I just thought her role was, maybe because I didn't fully understand what her fucking character's motivation was, but it was just like, right, okay, so she's a bad guy because she's a bad guy, and now there's a younger version of herself that doesn't look great, and what's happening here? And I mean, like, I did feel sorry for her the way her younger version goes out. Like the bendy bullet, it's like, oh fuck, I'm dead then.
That was clever.
But yeah, I just felt sorry for her. It was like, fuck. But I don't. I thought it was bang average. And it felt like the Netflix action blockbuster model of will offend no one, will entertain some. Which is also Red Notice, I think.
Oh, it's better than Red Notice.
But it is better than Red Notice because it actually looks like it was filmed in places on occasion.
And it doesn't have the rock in it.
I'm really worried about. I know he doesn't need me to worry about him, but I'm really worried about Ryan Reynolds. I think he needs to take some.
Well, he said that himself, that he needs to, that he wants to. I think it's interesting that Reynolds has basically said that he's taking 18 months off filming. So he won't be filming for like 18 months.
Probably got so much shit in the can though.
Anything. And he said that. And then all of a sudden the Deadpool 3 thing's starting to pick up a little bit of traction again.
I just hate to see him end up like The Rock. And I think he gets away with it, like with the aviation gin and stuff like that, and his fucking phone company and things like that, because he does it all with a bit of a wink. Whereas I think if The Rock tried to wink, those muscles aren't fully developed. All the other ones are taking all the energy, so I don't think he can. He's a humorless,
if he tried to wink, he'd have Tamara, what is it, fucking tequila, fucking tattooed on his eyelids.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, but yeah, I think he's got away with it up to this point, and I think we would probably be like the last people to turn on him because we were very much our Ryan Reynolds apologists. But I've already sort of started, like when you mention stuff, people going, oh god. I don't like Ryan Reynolds though.
Well, he's got one more movie out this year, doesn't he? But it's not out till Christmas.
The issue is as well, I think he doesn't stretch himself.
That's right. Yeah.
He is just Ryan Reynolds in everything. So I think you either get on with his bullshit or you don't. But there's only so many times you can watch that same character in stuff in a year.
The thing is, though, right? He was doing interesting shit that got him nowhere before Deadpool.
It's fucking great.
Like yeah, exactly. But it wasn't necessarily a hit. And like the Nines and Mississippi Grind, and then he does Deadpool. It's a hit. It's like, right, people like this version of me, and he does that version of him, and people like it. So it's. I kind of feel like it's just like if you wanted the version of me where you thought I was actually giving really interesting performances and whatnot, maybe you should have supported me at the time. And I know obviously like we've seen these films and whatnot, but I'm just a little bit, you know what? Fair play to him. He's making a shitload of bank. People like, but I don't know. At least unlike The Rock, like you say, he's doing it with some fucking humour. He's doing it like, I'm selling shit to you, but let's have a bit of fun with it. Whereas The Rock is just like, every fucking day I work it 24/7, 100%. So then when I get home, I have my tequila and I think of my family and the sweat of all the people that went into this bottle of tequila.
Yeah. Whereas Ryan Reynolds does it and then basically gives his entire fee that he made from the Adam Project to homeless charities in Canada.
Yeah. He just does it. He has a laugh about it, trolls Hugh Jackman, and then just goes back to being...
He spent an awful long time, I think, where people were telling him he'd never be an A-lister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then when he became an A-lister, after getting close to it and then getting knocked down again, when he became an A-lister, it was kind of like he's gone... Do you know what? I'm going to kind of enjoy this. But he's not just done A-lister movies. He did a Hitman's Bodyguard and a Hitman's Bodyguard 2. And that's it. And the thing is, it's the same thing I think that happened in a different way, but to a similar extent, with Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler's quality went down a lot more rapidly than Ryan Reynolds is did. But it was a bit like, people were like, it's just an Adam Sandler movie. It's like, yeah, but people enjoy it. Let people enjoy it.
And I'm not dissing this movie off the basis of what I'm saying. It sounds like I kind of am. I think he's at a point where he can halt the rockification of his legacy. But if he does much more in a short space of time, he's going to get past that point.
Bringing it back to the Adam Project, I think this is a great movie we're going to talk about another movie later on that I think is a great movie for a certain other demographic. I think this is a great movie for younger kids, possibly predominantly more boys, because of it's a more boy-centric. It's a boy as the lead character. It's about his relationship with his mother and his father for different reasons. But I think it'll be a film that 8 to 13-year-old boys will probably really like.
It feels like, and it came to my mind a few times while we were watching it, and you know that I really like this particular film, the Zathura movie.
Oh yeah.
It feels like that for now.
Yeah, it is. It's that.
It's just one of those kind of family movies that you'd stick on a Sunday.
Yeah, it is. It's the sort of thing that somebody like a Joe Dante or something like that would have done for Amblin, or Robert Zemeckis would have done for Amblin in the late 80s.
Yeah,
that's what it kind of feels around that kind of.
And I think I do genuinely think the only place it falls down is the kid's personality just not quite right. And if that's the one thing that's wrong with it, I really fucking enjoyed this movie. I like the timey-wimey shit. and trying to kind of work out the repercussions and the fact that they get around like the paradoxes by saying, oh yeah, but it doesn't reset until you go back to your...
It kind of...
That was good.
It made enough sense. I have one kind of issue that got me with it, that made me go, I'm not quite sure on this bit. And it was the de-aging of...
Keener.
Of what's it?
That wasn't great.
Because she ended up looking a little bit like Lauren Lupkus dressed as Catherine Keener.
Okay, yeah.
For a Saturday Night Live thing.
Very specific reference, but I get it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't know who you're referring to. You're going to have to show me a picture.
I'll show you a picture, but yeah, it did make me think this is what that's what she looks like.
It was a little bit like in that sort of bit where they were in with the electromagnetic thing. It was a little bit like they just sort of put a camera on her with like a Snapchat filter, but then whenever she turned, her face completely changed. So whenever she wasn't directly facing the filter, it was just whoever was playing that.
Yeah.
Whoever they were projecting the filter onto.
Can we just touch this up a little bit more? We could have, but you had to get Ruffalo, didn't you? You had to get Ruffalo. We offered you all these other people, but no, you wanted that fucking Hulk, so no, we don't quite have it in the budget to do this.
Oh yeah, but Ruffalo's such a good, like, nerdy science dad guy. Like, he's so good at it.
Isn't he a little bit becoming a little bit typecast, though? A little bit.
Yeah, but I think he just kind of... it works. He's got the crazy scientist hair. He seems like he'd be a nice dad.
He does look like he turned up in Bruce Banner's same costume from
Yeah.
all the
He does.
movies, though.
Yeah, he does, yeah. Maybe it was on the same light.
I reckon Reynolds at one point said to him, went, that looks like one of your Bruce Banner things. And he went, I know, I just kept it all, and they didn't notice.
Yeah, the Catherine Keener de-aging was not great. They'd have been better off
But-
just getting a younger, dark-haired actress. But then Catherine Keener is quite instinctive.
Well, yeah, I mean, but no. Sorry.
Or hire an actress that is in between the ages and make up her down and older up.
Yeah, but then you won't get Catherine Keener.
No, you wouldn't get Catherine Keener. But did that being Catherine Keener add that much to it?
Yeah, but I love seeing her in
She
stuff.
didn't get to Catherine Keener it that much, did she?
No, she didn't.
You know, I very much liked seeing Jennifer Garner back in something.
She always just plays mums now, though.
But I kind of get the feeling that she likes that.
Yeah. See,
Because
that's it. As a parent, like as screen parents,
she's great.
They'd be fucking great. Mark Ruffalo and Jennifer Garner. Yeah, all right, be my
My
parents.
Yeah, that's it. You know, there was the moment where there was a lot of sort of relatable parent moments.
Yeah.
With the way that she is.
Which is why I think it's a really good family film, because for the kids, there's all the actiony shit, and there's the kid, and they can relate to him. But as a parent watching it with your kids, you're like, yeah, teenagers, I'm all right. Do you know, there's stuff.
I mean, I always laugh when children are being essentially mocked by
their parents,
by older people.
Yeah. By grown-ups. Yeah.
And so, yeah, when you had Ryan Reynolds constantly mocking the kid, I quite enjoyed that.
You did enjoy that,
yeah. I laughed heartily at those moments. I had a good time.
I mean, I will say though, the de-aging of Ryan Reynolds at the end was they gave him a shave.
Yeah, I think he just had a shave.
He's quite baby-faced anyway, though, isn't he?
I think he had a shave.
Maybe a facial.
And they just dyed his hair a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That was odd.
I didn't even know.
You know, like.
To be honest.
What?
But it's like because that's the thing. But I mean, it's like if they're meeting in like college or something, and then he's supposed to be like early 40s when he was the pilot. It's going to be at least 15 years, at least. And I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. Like Catherine Keener they do this de-aging thing that just doesn't work. And Ryan Reynolds, they're like, fuck it, he looks young enough. I think that's an odd thing to do. But then again, I mean, like Zoe Saldana, they pardon me, barely do anything to her either. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was odd.
I think the difference, I suppose, with the Catherine Keener character is she was supposed to be significantly younger, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So I suppose it's a bit different, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, yeah, because they go back in time further, don't they?
Yeah.
I missed a trick there. Yeah, no, yeah, all right, fine. I did pay attention during the Adam Project, I swear.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, like for me, definitely not shit. I thought it was fine. I'll never watch it again, and I'd much rather watch Free Guy.
The thing is, I'm definitely not shitting again. I think I will watch it again at some point.
Watch this
but it will be a Sunday morning movie.
Yeah, which it was.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Appropriate.
Yeah, it's a Sunday morning breakfast movie without question.
Yeah, definitely not shit. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
I did not expect
fair play.
the Adam Project, out of the three that we were watching, to be the one that I enjoyed most and the one that actually made me feel shit. That bit in the bar where he's talking to his mother, but he's an adult, really, really fucking messed me up.
It's fair play. It's a good scene.
Yeah. It just, I think, yeah. Again, possibly on a personal level, kind of. Made me think of my mum.
Yeah. Which is fair enough. We're allowed to personally identify with movies.
Yeah.
That's the good thing.
Yeah, it made me cry. The Adam Project, a fucking Sean Levy, Ryan Reynolds movie, it made me cry. I don't know whether I should be ashamed of that or not.
Nope. Our audience poll on that was definitely not shit 55%, touching cloth 27%, and shit 18%.
Oh no! Well, I tell you what, should we kick it into your solo? What you've been watching?
I have not watched anything solo.
Well. Oh, I don't know.
Hang on.
Shall I do mine?
Go for it. Yeah, he's nearly back.
Oh, fuck it, he's walking in. I'll wait.
Hello.
Right, so Bex says she hasn't watched anything by herself this week.
Nope.
So, Mark, what have you watched by yourself this week? And then we'll do what you both watched.
Well, I actually haven't either, because we've had a bit of a...
Wow,
We've had a bit of a funny week, haven't we?
For our what we've been watching, we can heartily recommend the Mad Max game.
We've gamed a bit, haven't we?
We have.
Fucking hell, you guys have been still been playing that. Good on you.
Yeah, we're in full completion mode, aren't we? So I'll check on how long to play and how long like the full completion mode for Mad Max is. How long to play? How long to beat? Sorry, it is called, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Mad Max apparently to beat is completionist is 62 hours.
You're not going to completionist it, are you?
Oh,
yeah.
Fucking hell, you're gonna platinum that bad boy. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, we are completely. So we are.
We did last time, didn't we?
40% the way through it.
Yeah, 40 something, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we've probably racked up, I would say this week, about close to 15 hours, I'd say.
Yeah, we've played a lot, haven't we?
Yeah, we had a couple of nights where we accidentally went till like 2 in the morning on it, didn't we?
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, we've had a bad week for films. We apologise, guys.
Man, that's something though. Like, I've only platinumed one game on PlayStation, and it was the Astro's fucking whatever it was called, Astro's Playroom, I think it was, the free bundle game that you get with the PlayStation 5. And it, like, the thing is, it only takes about 5 hours to platinum it, but what a fucking 5 hours it is. Whereas you guys, that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Oh, good on you.
We will do it as well. It's that thing. We've got a system, haven't we?
We do. You have the bits that you do when I'm not here, and I have the bits that I do when you're not here. And then there are certain bits that can only be done when we're both here because they're the best bits.
Yeah. So the bits that I find boring, you do when I'm not here.
Yeah.
And the bits that you find boring, I do when you're not there.
It's not that I find the convoys boring. I just find them really stressful.
The convoys can be stressful. They're not as stressful now we've got the Thunderpoon.
Yeah, the Thunderpoon is good.
Yeah.
Camps have to be done when we're both here, don't they?
Yes, camps have to be done when we're both here.
Very cool. Very cool.
We just did a camp. We've got a camp to do. We have to get a camp because there's camps within these regions. Then you have like a camp boss, don't you?
Yeah.
Like a top dog. And the next top dog one we've got to do is called Rim Jobber, isn't he?
He is, yeah, Rim Jobber. Good egg.
Rim Jobber.
Yeah.
There's some camps that are called Stank Gum camps because Stank Gum is he's the boss of those, isn't he? But they just have his minions in.
Yeah.
You don't fight Stank Gum until really late into it, do you?
No, Stank Gum is one of the ones that you fight just before you get into Gastown.
The main baddie is called Scrotus.
Yeah.
It's fucking
nice.
great. You just go around
Scrotus.
beating the shit out of people and driving cars. It's great.
It's a very basic game, but a lot of fun.
Strongly recommend.
Also, a very basic. The one film we did watch together, with the exception of the main review ones,
which does share a feature with Red Rocket in that you see Wang in this film, don't you?
Yes, you do see Wang in this film.
Yeah.
It's the Devil's Wang.
It's the Devil's Wang.
And it's This Is the End, which we decided to rewatch.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Yeah.
Very cool.
This Is the End is one of those films where it's getting on for 10 years old now.
Yeah.
And it gets better every time I watch it.
Oh, Michael Cera is so creepy in this film.
He is, yes. But it's just incredibly watchable.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the best moments of it, it's fun getting to the bit where the rapture happens and they all end up in Franco's house. That's fun. And then the ending where they have to leave Franco's house and Danny McBride is a cannibal and they're all trying to get re-raptured is fun. But the bit in the middle where it's just them in Franco's house
yeah.
is just an awful lot of fun.
It really is.
Nice.
Yeah. Danny McBride, man, his entrance into it is glorious. It's one
You've always liked that. Sorry, yeah. It's great.
Yeah, it's just one of cinema's great moments.
It is good.
Yeah. This Is the End is an awful lot of fun and remains an awful lot of fun. And every time I watch it, I keep thinking, is this going to be one of those ones where it's just aged badly? But I don't think it does. And it's made me actually go, do you know what? I'm going to rewatch Sausage Party. Because I really didn't like that.
No.
And I'm going to give it another go. Just to see if maybe I was just in a off mood or anything like that.
I'm not.
That's fine.
Yeah, I remain convinced I wouldn't like Sausage Party on a rewatch.
Yeah. Oh,
but this. I said this to you after we finished watching it. It straddles the fine line of being super fucking juvenile, and silly, but also kind of heartfelt and having a point. Sausage Party's just juvenile and just.
Alright, I think give it another go just to make sure that it's cemented.
Fine. That's fine, you can do that.
As being there, yeah. So yeah, I mean anything with Craig Robinson is great, so there you go.
Yeah, there is that.
What have you been watching this week, Ian?
Oops, sorry, just got to send Donna a quick text as well.
What I will say is, I promise we will watch more next week.
No worries. Okay, cool. Sorry, she's just nipping to the shops. So, watched a couple of things. I don't think I'm going to get through all the Oscar films. Couple of them I just think is straight up not available, and I'll be honest, if that's the case, I'm not watching the one where he got nominated for the Diane Warren song. I'm just not.
I think that's fair enough. I think you can get away with that.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I've got 6 left I haven't seen.
or something like that, and I think I can deal. I'm going to try to get to The Hand of God, the Paolo Sorrentino film, because I actually want to see that. But
I've seen on that one.
Yeah, but I watched but the other two films that I got to talk about, I watched in kind of like Oscar catch up mode. So I caught up with Summer of Soul. So there's the documentary directed by Questlove. I think it's going to win the Oscar because it makes people feel good, like my octopus teacher did. I also don't think it deserves to win. But I'm not going to say that I thought it was shit. There's a 20-minute section in it where it's focusing on the more gospel-y church music aspect of the festival, where I was very, very bored. And that is 100% a subjective thing. But I was fucking bored. I don't know. I mean, like, it was great seeing the footage, and it was interesting hearing the stories of the people going to it. But I don't think it did a particularly great job at saying why that festival was important. Or at least important enough for a documentary to be made on it, other than the fact it was a festival from 50 years ago that people had forgotten. But what was its impact? What was its legacy? Fuck all, because it was forgotten.
I think that's because it was forgotten, because literally it was almost like they made it to be forgotten.
Yeah, it didn't click with me fully. You know, that was it. Even though, I mean, like, also to be fair, I watched it the evening that we found out about Dan, so that maybe that coloured it. But I was kind of hoping to be transported a little bit, and I don't think I particularly was. So that may well be a factor. So Summer Assault, but I finally, after weeks of saying I'm going to watch it next week, King Richard. I watched King Richard. So the last one of the Best Picture nominees that I needed to watch. And yeah, I mean, like, Will Smith is going to win the Oscar.
It does seem like it's swung back in that favour for sure, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But I mean, the thing is, it's like, it's one where you're not going to be saying, like, oh, well, that was just for his career. Like, he's giving a good fucking performance here. You do at times forget that it's Will Smith, which is hard because he's Will Smith. But no, I mean, like, he's a really, really complicated character as Richard Williams, because some of the fucking things that he, like, zags when he's supposed to zig that he does, are so, why the fuck are you doing that? But it all comes together in there. Have you two seen this yet?
Still not watched it, no. It's one of those ones that I keep meaning to watch, and then going, and then, I'll be honest, just getting put off by the fact that it's 2.5 hours long, and going, I don't quite have that time for it right now, but I want to watch it, but I don't have time for the 2.5 hours.
And I watched it all in one go, and it felt it. It fucking felt it. But it ends really strong. That's the thing. Like, there is some stuff in it where you do, I don't know, it's interesting because it's kind of roughly split into two halves, where it's like the first half where they're living in their hometown, and the second part where they move to I think it's Florida, if I remember correctly. And the first half, it's very much setting up how Venus and Serena kind of like first start playing tennis, but also it spends a good chunk of time on why Richard is so focused on getting his family out of there. So there's quite a lot of ground to cover, because it could easily just have less of a focus on Richard and be about how Venus and Serena got their start. But instead it is both. and it's a long film as a result. And the kind of the dual focus does make it just feel baggy, even though it's not. But it's because it's trying to tell two stories in one film. And in the last act, or more specifically, like the last half hour, 40 minutes, it very much becomes Venus's kind of story, with Serena kind of there in the background as well, and Richard is there, and he's a prominent figure, but it is about her and about her appearance in this tournament, and it ends strong through actually focusing down on, do you know what, actually it is like the Williams sisters that you probably do want to be focusing on, but seeing their father's impact on their life and like why he's doing what he's doing and why he's taking the decisions that he takes is interesting. So it's a heck of a thing where they've gone, we're going to make a biopic about the Venus and Serena, but it's about their dad. You know, like, that is a fucking tricky needle to thread. Yeah. But they kind of manage it in a way. They kind of manage it. Yeah, it's an interesting film, and it like I say, the last half hour, 40 minutes has got like good, solid sports movie shit to it. Which I like, Mark, I think you will get a kick out of particularly. So yeah, no, I mean, I quite liked it actually. Would I ever watch it again? Maybe not, to be fair, but like I think I said when we were talking about the Oscar nominations, now that I've seen them all, I don't really begrudge any of them being there.
Which is good, which is what you want,
like, there's no film there where I'm like, that's a bad film. You know, like the one where I'm surprised, but, or I don't know, less surprised, is Coda. But it's a small film that's garnered a following and people like it. So it's like, you know what, fair enough, have Coda there. Yeah, it's, I mean, Don't Look Up is a bit, Don't Look Up feels like the one that has just fucking melted away. Like, no fuckers talking about Don't Look Up now.
No, it feels a little bit like a, if it wasn't nominated, nobody would be sort of crying for why wasn't this nominated?
I honestly, at the time that it came out, people were like, oh, it's going to win this, it's going to win that. I don't think it's winning anything now.
No.
And that's fine. That's fine. And I liked Don't Look Up. I thought it was damn sight better than Vice. But yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. So yeah, no, that was it. So yeah, King Richard is not bad, but it is too long. So let's talk about a film that Becky fucking loves. Turning Red is directed by Domi Shi and stars the voices of Rosalie Chiang, Sandra Oh, Adi Chandler, Maitri Ramakrishnan, Ava Morse, James Hong, and Wai Ching Ho. Mei Lee is a 13-year-old girl who's torn between being her mother's obedient daughter and the chaos of her youth. As if that were not enough, when she gets too excited, she turns into a big red panda. That's an incredible description, and it's bang on. So, Bex, staunch defender of Onward, staunch liker of Luca.
Yeah.
Turning Red is a film aimed at ... fill in the gap.
I mean, clearly, cusp of teenage girls is who it's aimed at, but cusp of teenage girls aren't going to be watching this fucking movie. Pixar movies are for kids, so it's already failed there because it's not going to find its demographic. 13-year-old girls are not watching Pixar movies. And if they are, they're watching nostalgia Pixar movies that they watched when they were kids. So yeah, not really sure, to be honest. I mean, that's who it's aimed at, but it's a shoe and a miss.
Okay, interesting.
Mark? I mean, maybe, do you know what? Maybe they are. I just know our 13-year-old girl would not have been watching this fucking film. And my
8-year-old girl...
Go on.
Sorry. My 8-year-old girl ran out of the room screaming at a couple of points because she couldn't deal with it. The bit where the mum forces her to that shop and she confronts the lad.
Yeah.
Lottie was not happy. Was not able to deal with that. Was very, very embarrassed for her. Yeah. Interesting.
That is super cringy. And the thing is, they're not drawn as 13-year-old girls. 13-year-old girls don't look like that. They just don't. 10-year-old girls, maybe, look like that.
13-year-old girls in 2002, though.
Yeah, for no fucking reason. Why was it?
Because that's when the one who wrote it will have been 13.
So?
As I'm just saying, I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just saying that would be the reason. I guarantee you.
Well, I was a 13-year-old girl in 1996, and the girls around me didn't dress like little babies. The only one that was like vaguely realistic was Miriam. I know, to be fair, Miriam and the other one. Not that weird fucking hyperactive thing with the awful fringe and the dungarees, and not the main character.
Well, I think the main character wasn't supposed to be dressed like what is it? She was supposed to dress overtly like her mother was dressing her. Yeah.
Mark?
Yes.
Did you feel like this film was made... So, there was a review of this film, I think from Cinema Blend last week, that provoked a lot of controversy for saying that it basically... the guy was like, I've got no connection with the Chinese community, I just didn't chime with it, I didn't connect with it, blah, blah, blah. Not in that way, but did you feel that there was any kind of like universal connection with this, or did it feel like a film made by a woman telling a very specific story of her coming of age? Like, how much universality do you think there is to how this film kind of pulls out in the end?
I think I think it comes across as something that is that seems like it's quite a personal story to somewhere between Dominic C and Julian Cho. The writers, it feels like there's a personal connection they're bringing toward that, which is why I think you have the historical setting, and there is it definitely feels like that one of them had the overbearing mother that they were constantly trying to please. But I also think that there's a universal relatability to that. I think on a whole in that, but in a sense of the fact that it's helicopter parenting has become a thing that has happened over the past 20 years. That has started to exist. I mean, 20 years ago, the phrase helicopter parenting didn't exist.
No.
I love standing over Lottie and going.
You do make helicopter.
Actually, I literally do make helicopter noises, and we'll literally look around and go, as Becky and Isabel look at me and go, seriously, I'm going, there's a fucking helicopter in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Can you do your impression of a helicopter, please, Mark?
Oh, put me on the spot there now. I don't know what have I?
You haven't actually.
I'll try and work it back out in my head and do it later on, just randomly for you all.
You do,
Okay.
you do the wind
Yeah.
as well, don't
I do the wind, yeah.
Windy,
I like the going.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It's fucking windy. Is there a fucking window open or something? Yes. Yeah. But no, I think...
Constant party in this house.
It is, yeah. I think there is a universal there, but I think it's a little bit... it's a little bit... I'm going to call it back to Nightmare Alley. It's a little bit... like hypnotherapy and things like that, where it's suggestive things. So it's tarot cards saying, "Oh, you've had a recent personal, change in your life." Well, everybody's lives fucking change all of the time. So I think these are connections that the majority of people will get because parents can seem overprotective because they're parents. For that, but yeah, I wouldn't say that this is only a film that people who grew up from a certain background could connect to. No. I think it's leaning heavily into a certain background. But I don't personally have a problem with that. The fact that it borrows heavily from anime and manga tropes within certain visuals. I did at some points find that a little bit odd at points.
A bit appropriate-y.
A bit appropriate-y. There's a big inspiration certainly for certain elements of it comes from My Neighbor Totoro. I think at one point the working title was something like My Neighbor Panda or something like that.
My Neighbor Panda.
Something like that.
My neighbour Toronto.
Toronto, that was it. Yeah.
Wow.
Was at one point a possibility of a title, but do you know what?
I
Fuck
would have
it.
fucking rioted if they'd called
I know
it that.
you would have rioted. I kind of don't have a problem with that. The thing is about this movie, as a holistic level, I found a lot of it to be a little bit shit.
Yeah.
Right. However, I actually kind of enjoyed the whole movie overall. So,
I don't feel like I need to watch an hour and 40 minutes ugly Pixar movie because it's got people in it, so it's an ugly Pixar movie about a little girl getting a period. Like, I just don't need to.
But I don't need to either. But I kind of enjoyed watching it. It was funny. The best bits of it were when they were basically just enjoying the fact that she turned into a big red panda and she worked out how to do it.
Yeah, that bit was
I enjoyed all of that bit. I enjoyed the fact that literally at the start of the movie you go, "Oh, I wonder what might happen at the end." And it was a bit like that. That it was just freaking obvious, but the journey was a lot of fun. And that's it. Sometimes with movies, the destination is fun, the journey's the slog. And I didn't find this. I found the times where it went too big were a little bit... Yeah, no, it was more fun when it was more fun when it was closer to something like Luca.
Yeah.
Than it was when it was trying to be something bigger.
My main issues with it were the kids don't feel real. They don't feel like real 13-year-old kids.
I don't need them to feel real. I need to feel like 13-year-old kids in a Pixar movie, and they did feel like that.
It's ugly. It's not a good-looking film.
Don't agree with you.
Pixar can't draw people for shit.
But I've accepted they can't draw people. It'd be weirder if they look like people.
And it's too heavy-handed with its metaphor. And it's like, the thing is, if it was a film aimed at children, yeah, do you know what, going heavy-handed, they sometimes, they won't get it if it's subtle. But if this is supposed to be aimed at teenage girls...
I don't think it is.
But then, why is it...
What?
I don't think kids are necessarily going to identify with a coming of age story. Little kids, they're nowhere near that yet. It's not even going to be on their fucking radar.
Then is it more aimed at the parents of kids that are going to be within the next few years hitting the age of where you're going to have to start dealing with things like parents?
Or like a don't be a dick to your kids kind of movie.
Be more don't turn it into something that is like they do a little bit when they think she's got a period in this.
Well, yeah. Maybe. But then, I don't know. I saw a thing on Twitter as well. Someone commenting on it saying that they liked Turning Red and it was great and blah blah blah, but they'd just love to see an animated movie at some point with a Chinese character in it. There's a Chinese main character or an Asian main character where the word ancestors is not mentioned.
That's a fair
It's
point.
A fair
It
point,
is a fair point.
It is a fair point.
And the stupid thing is, Asian movies do it all the time. They're just people just living their lives. There's plenty of Studio Ghibli movies that are just like they're just bipping about. You know, there are mystical elements to quite a lot of the Ghibli movies. Obviously, Totoro, Spirited Away, blah blah blah. But there's plenty that aren't. And they're just
I'm a big fan of people biffing about.
Yeah.
bipping about.
Yeah, it's a good saying. I like that.
Ian, I think you're closer to me on this, aren't you?
I fucking loved it. I thought it was great. I think Becky's a fool. No, I'm joking. I'm not joking. I loved
The
it.
thing is,
No.
I'm not demographic. I'm not. It's not aimed at me, and I find young girls annoying in general. So, like, maybe that's why young precocious kids. I don't. I don't get it. They're not cute. It's not cute. I don't need to watch it. So it's not aimed at me. So yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know whether it's aimed at me either, but I really liked it. So I don't know. It's odd. I mean, I thought it was really charming. I liked the character designs. In all honesty, they were all, like just. I thought there were fun little visual details and just little lines all the way through it that made me laugh. And if you're gonna do like a big monsters set piece at the end, at least you've got some good emotional shit behind it, or at least I thought. I don't know. I just thought it was really effortlessly charming, and I enjoyed the characters. So.
Thing is, though,
Yeah, I get your point though. I don't know. Maybe I am.
Of that age, maybe you are.
Yeah, I do think that you're probably one of the demographics it's going for. You know, the fact is, the reason why Pixar movies historically, when they were released at cinemas, made so much money is because it's very rare one person would go and see them, or two people. It would be 3-4 people at a time would go and see them, and that was a whole sort of thing with them, and so they made them for kids. But Pixar, what worked for them was they also made them to have element of parents, and not just by having like in jokes or anything like that, but had it looked at both sides, and I think that this does it quite well. I think what you said there, Ian, I had issues with it, but yeah, it is very, very charming.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, the thing is, I mean, it's not like I don't understand where Becky's coming from, though. You know, it's like I disagree with it, but I am not Becky, so yeah, it's that's fine. It's weird thinking that this one went straight to Disney Plus instead of like cinemas and whatnot, and I do wonder how well this actually would have done at the cinema, because I think it was worthy of seeing on a big screen, but I thought Luca was as well, and to be fair, Soul's got enough interesting visuals that it probably deserves to be seen on a big screen. But it is a bit challenging, and obviously it does. There are people who seem to have been triggered by it, you know, and it's.
Do you think it is literally people have been triggered because, oh my god, it's about periods? It's like right. The weirdness, I think that part of it might be that I've never had to have a period, but like I have no problem with talking to Isabel about that special time every month that she has. And it's never been, but that could be because I grew up partially in a house with 3 women at one point, so it was always what is it? And my mum moved out; she lived in a house with 2 other women, so it was never something that was weird to me.
No.
What?
Nothing.
Whereas you blankly will not talk about Isabel.
No, and do you know what? No.
I don't know. I like I say, I really enjoyed it. I mean, like, was it the deepest film I've seen this year? Probably not. You know, but did it do what I thought it aimed to do? Very much, yes. And I enjoyed what it was aiming to do. So yeah, I mean, like, for me, definitely not shit. Would watch again.
Yeah, definitely not shit. Would watch again. And I don't often say that for Pixar movies. But yeah, I could see myself throwing this on another time and going, fuck it, yeah, I'll watch that. It was... The thing is, it had a zany energy to it and I liked, whereas I didn't like the zany characters, like the weird little...
Weird little troll kid.
Yeah. She felt like she was about 3 or 4 years younger than the other kids.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And it felt a little bit odd. It felt like she was somebody's little sister that just had way too much Sunny D. But yeah, I'm definitely not shit with it. Our audience poll. Where are you, Betsy? Yeah, where are you?
It's definitely not shit. It's not shit. It's objectively objectively not shit. It's just subjectively shit for me.
That's a fair.
Okay.
So it's not a thanks I hear. It's just it's not my bag, but I accept that it's not shit.
No, and the thing is, it's not just coming from a Pixar hating place, because I've been better with that recently.
Yeah, you like Luca and Onward.
You what?
You liked Luca and Onward.
I was really looking forward to Turning Red as well. I thought it was going to be good, but it wasn't for me. Just didn't like it. And I will never watch it again. But it's not shit. So
yeah. Well, our audience poll was definitely not shit 67%, touching cost 17%, and shit 17%.
More mixed than a lot of Pixar.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so.
The sad thing is, though, like, with it being like a girl main character in it, I'd have liked it to have been a universally kind of loved one, because then more of them will get made. But I just don't think it does it great.
Yeah, fair enough. Questions?
The question that we asked out there, I think I phrased this question wrong. So the question that I asked for our wonderful audience was, our question for you is, do you have any go-to movie snack choices? Now, I think that people thought I meant at the cinema, and I can see why, and I didn't. I meant at home. Because, you know, the majority of film fans don't eat at the cinema.
No.
Because for some reason, everything that is served at a cinema is either noisy or stanks.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of people going, Dylan Black Lanterns, pick and mix would always be a go-to. Nothing like spending a tenner for penny sweets. Back when I went to see Anchorman 2 with a friend, we smuggled in 3 bottles of wine to help us weather the storm. Needless to say, I've stopped drinking.
Nice.
Wow.
The
Pick
thing
and
is,
mix is a good shout though, because a lot of them are squashy.
pick and mix is about the only thing where occasionally we might indulge if we go to the cinema, and it's something that feels pick and mixian.
Yeah, yeah.
So if it's like I think did we have pick and mix at The Hitman's Wife, The Hitman's Bodyguard? I think we had pick and mix that, and bits like that. So films that are going to be a little bit where it's not going to matter if you accidentally fucking scrumple a bag for a minute. Yeah, fucking eating pick and mix in the fucking prisoners. It'd be a little bit.
Yeah, it has to feel
Nice.
fairly airy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah. Rick Kidd, never eat in the cinema, but I do take in a bottle of Iron Brew. Again, I do not eat in the cinema, part of the pick and mix, but I will occasionally take in a drink if I am parched, but I won't drink it until there's an hour left of the film.
Yeah.
So that's when I can hold my pee.
Wow.
Max Easy, never eat in the cinema. Sorry, I'm one of those people. No, I would agree with that. No drink either. Can't understand why you want to miss part of the film to go to the loo. Again, completely understand that. When you see people walking in with popcorn, fucking nachos, and a massive drink, you're looking at going, right, you're going to be complaining later on how expensive the cinema is to go to now.
But the thing is, those people are probably going to the cinema. They probably go once every few months, and it's a night out for them.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair comment.
Whereas we go too much for it to be that.
Yeah. Andrew Jones. Back when I went to cinema above a Sainsbury's, their box of Rocky Road bites would last a 4-movie day nicely. That's a really good, that's I can see the sense and logic in that.
One of those Rocky Road tubs from Marks and Sparks and just sitting in one.
Because Rocky Road is
quiet.
It's quiet. The boxes are fairly quiet.
Yeah.
And if you're doing a couple of movies in a day, you're wanting to get them so they're close together. So you might go 5 or 6 hours without eating. Yeah. So just a little bit of a
high sugar. Keep your energy up.
Yeah, I can see the logic behind that. There's thought on it on that.
Okay, so you're going to have to rephrase that question for next week, aren't you?
Yes, I am going to have to rephrase that because I clearly I suck. But we've established that many times on this podcast.
I think you're great.
You also think I suck.
You are.
You also think I suck.
Oh, yeah. In a great way.
Questions. Rick Kidd. Ian, do you have a smoothie snack when you're watching movies at home that you sometimes like to indulge in?
Well, no, if you're going to re-ask it next week, why don't we do our answers then?
Fine. Rick Kidd, are there any subgenres of films which are no longer / rarely made that you'd like to see come back, e.g. sword and sandals, epics, big ensemble cast disaster movies, or ensemble war movies?
I'd like to see more heist movies.
Oh, that's a good shout.
It's a good shout. It feels like because we had the Oceans movies, people decided we didn't need them anymore. But they were 20 years ago.
Yeah. And I do like war movies, but unfortunately I think we've exhausted the wars that have already been, and to have another one we'd need another war, so I anticipate a lot of Russian, Ukrainian.
Yeah, but they're not interesting in the same way as the Gulf War ones just weren't interesting.
No.
I want future war. I want the first 5 minutes of Terminator 2 for an entire fucking film, but not the fourth Terminator. At night with fucking lasers firing around all over the place and shit. That's what I want.
You want that, but more on a semi-practical effect level.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, let's fucking go.
That, but directed.
Back in time for that.
That, but maybe directed by Neil Blomkamp, like we possibly were going to get at one point.
Yeah. That would work.
Yeah. Heist movies is a good show.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It is.
I thought I'd get in there early.
I would say sort of day in the life Gen Xer movies that you got in the 90s. That were just like dazed and confused, and fucking Suburbia, and
You couldn't
Slacker
have them now,
and
because
things like that.
They're not timely, so it'd be day in the life Gen Z movies of them just making fucking TikToks.
Yeah, but that's the problem. It'd just be like it would be really fucking
Watching
dull.
YouTube videos.
It would be 6 kids sat in someone's bedroom talking to other people on their phones, complaining their friends never engage with them.
Yeah.
Fucking kids suck, man. Dylan Black Lanterns, I already did send over a question another day. Let me know if you can't find it. We did find it. I'll have to re-find it again in a second. Marcus Sizu, after seeing What Is It, who's your favourite What Is It? I'm not getting the reference here, so I'm going to have to try and find this.
So what is it? I think is that the Crispin Glover directed film? I don't know.
What Is It is the... Yes, it is the Crispin Glover directed film. I've never seen this, actually. I need to watch this. This is one that he randomly takes around film festivals, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, favourite, what is it? I almost think, is that not a reference to Mark saying, what is it?
It could be, yeah.
But but it's not just actors or anything like that. You say that about all sorts of things. But I think I need a bit of more of a definition from Marcus Izu on this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So this is a fine thing next week, and we will cover it.
Yeah, please.
Probably more extensive than anticipated.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how to frame my answer at the moment.
Right, we did get.
I don't want to watch that film now. It sounds intriguing.
Dylan Black Lanterns, I have a question for the show. I missed your call out from last time, so in case I do it. Cast your fellow hosts in 2 films. They can be new or old properties, but must be one they'd love to be in, and one that would be the idea of total hell.
Fucking hell. That's a question.
Alright, Mark lives with Paulie Shaw in an apartment. Becky plays Paulie Shaw's new girlfriend.
Does it actually have to be an actual movie?
An actual movie?
Yes, it has to be an actual movie that you're getting cast in. One that you'd love to be cast in, and one that you'd hate to be cast in. So I'm going to cast you, Ian, in...
No. I'm going to cast... No, because you're going to probably say something similar to me. I'm going to cast him in The Cut or something, some erotic thriller that's going to make him really uncomfortable.
Can I be in the Meg Ryan role?
You are.
Can I be in the Meg Ryan role and just get fucking pile drive by Mark Ruffalo? That'd be fine.
Go for it.
Because what I'm going to cast you in that you'd like is Inside Llewellyn Davis.
Oh shit! Which role? Llewellyn?
Yeah.
Oh, I just get to walk around snowy New York.
Yeah, I think you'd love that.
Oh man, I would.
And the role I'm going to cast you in that you would hate. You would absolutely fucking hate is... Oh, God, I've forgotten his fucking name now. Give me 2 seconds. So you've got to be in this role. In my brain, you've got to be playing this role as the actual person, as the actual character. But in your soul, you are you. So you know so there's that. And it's the Tom Skerritt character in Poison Ivy.
Okay, I don't understand the reference, but I'm sure people are laughing. Oh no, is it the one that Drew Barrymore cracks onto?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So you're playing a Tom Skerritt character, having to do all the Tom Skerritty bits, but in your brain in the background of your soul, in your echo, to use an Adam Project thing, you know everything that's going on.
No, I don't like that.
Becky, one that you'd like would be, I think you'd like to be in Big Trouble in Little China.
Who am
I? I think you'd probably like to be, what's her name? The reporter.
Margot.
Margot, yeah.
I would love to be Margot.
Yeah, I think you'd be good at the Margot bit, yeah. And one that you hate... I'm trying to think of a movie that I like that you hate.
I've got one that I'd hate.
What?
The Jamie Lee Curtis role in True Lies. Having to do that dance.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't think you'd hate that much. I don't know. I can't think of one that you'd hate.
See, I can't think of
Okay, Mark would love Biodome.
I would love Biodome.
Kylie.
I would love Biodome.
Trying to think of a hate now. There's probably one screaming out as well.
See,
that I
there's
can't
too many
think
that
of.
he'd love to be in because he's just like
Yeah,
a
that's
with his head out of a window, isn't he?
Yeah, that's that's very good.
I think you'd be in Weekend at Bernie's as one of the boys. Okay, you're in Weekend at Bernie's as one of the boys. That's the one you like. You're in Weekend at Bernie's as Bernie is the one that you'd hate.
I'd be fine with that.
To enjoy it.
I'd be fine with that.
No, I know.
Go on.
I got it. Eddie Redmayne in the Fantastic Beasts series, because you'd just be so bored.
I'd be confused and bored.
And you'd be getting told how magical all this stuff is, and you'd just be like, no, it's not.
It's not, this is shit.
Fuck off. No, it's not. This is shit. Yeah, exactly.
Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings movie having to put up with Hobbit bullshit.
Yeah.
I could go, Specs.
Go on.
In a similar way to Ian with the Tom Skerritt character, you are Elena Haim in Licorice Pizza.
Oh, gross.
Oh, that is gross.
I'm good at this game. Yeah. So have you got one?
I'm tapped out. Fucking hell.
One that you wouldn't like. No, I can't think of anything that you wouldn't like. You'd just fucking love it. You'd just be like, yeah, no, Gandalf.
Gandalf?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah, that's
put
too...
up with Hobbit bullshit.
It's a lot of work, that. Just a lot of work. I'd be there saying to fucking Samwise and fucking what's Frodo going, look, will you two just fuck so we can get on with this? Yeah. What are we covering next week, Ian?
What a transition that was.
Actually, I did think of a joint one, but then I had to throw it out because he dies at the end.
I'm fine with that.
True Romance.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
That's pretty good. So next week, Ty West returns with film that is ever so slightly appeared out of nowhere. It's been getting good reviews and is probably going to do fuck all at the box office. But that would be X.
What I will say is,
for
all those people who when stuff like X goes straight to streaming services, and you say, but why don't these movies go to cinemas? Please go and see it, because that's the reason why.
Yeah. Probably need to put your money where your mouth is with it this weekend, to be honest, because it kind of feels like you're not going to get too many films like that getting a wide release in the future.
Unless
so,
this does, if this does decent bank, then studios will start to go, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, quite. So, X, and also a film that I think we've all been looking forward to for varying reasons. The Ben Affleck, Ana de Armas Blue Balls Fest, Deep Water.
Yeah!
This is Mark Nip, isn't it?
So,
Yep.
Yeah, bit of Mark Nip, but it will be fun. So, that's it, folks. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much, Becky.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you very much, Ian.
And we shall see you all next week. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.